Hi everyone, my name is Evan Wilder, and welcome to the very first series of a lot of these weekly company videos that's going on right now. So, beginning right now with this video right now, every single week I'm actually going to end up sending a lot of videos, and that actually includes the videos where nothing's actually really going on, which kind of really begs to ask the question: what happened to you, Evan? Where did you go? And how come there hasn't been any new videos been posted up lately? Okay, well, one of the reasons why is because recently I got back into Detroit, and one of my first missions was to put food on the table. And one of the ways I actually ended up doing that is I took up a lot of moving gigs. Now, usually a lot of these moving gigs they tend to pull you away from the actual computer. So basically, I have to actually go to somebody's house, literally spend most of my energy and strength lifting up this entire recliner couches, which I really hate carrying, by the way, and moving them all the way from one part of the house to another part of the house, or moving them from one house in one part of the city and then actually moving them to another part of the city. So that's actually what's been going on right now. So recently, I've actually started with the moving gigs, and I'm moving closer to doing things on the computer. So right now, I'm actually starting a podcast editing service, and along with that, I'm also starting doing a lot of these Fiverr gigs. And one of the reasons it's actually really important is because the more I'm closer to the computer, the less I'm pulled away from E.Wil Entertainment. So a lot of the reasons why I haven't been doing a lot of these videos because I hate putting up videos where I hate actually putting up videos where actually nothing really happened. But at the same time, what I've actually noticed is that I have to put these videos up so I can actually be held accountable for what's going on a weekly basis. And adding to that accountability, oh, sorry, adding to this accountability is that I have to actually put up some goals that I want to do by the time I put the next video up. So every Tuesday, I'm putting up a video up every single Tuesday, and I'm actually going to end up updating what's going on a weekly basis. So that way, the more I actually work with on a computer, bring in income. So because even crowdfunders have to put food on the table. It would be great if we can actually survive off of hope and dreams, but that's not how crowdfunders are because we're still human beings. So that was a tangent in itself, but the point still stands. I'm actually doing more work on the computer, so that way I won't be driven away from E.W. Entertainment. And speaking of to this month, this is the month I'm going to handle a lot of boring stuff for E.W. Entertainment. Now, some of the stuff, what I mean by boring is like I really want to get to the part where I actually get to contact a lot of people, contact all the internet celebrities, contact all the people we're gonna hire, contact everyone, and just be like, hey, here we are, this is what we're doing. But before we can do that, I gotta do all the boring stuff first. But luckily, there's only four boring stuff that I'm really mostly concerned about. It still fits to the pairs I said about a few months ago, but it's very, very important I actually work on these four very boring things. So the first thing is, I'm almost done with this. I want to have all the pilot spec scripts written, and there's only three more shows I have to write for. So the one of the first shows I'm writing for is basically a 11-minute action comedy series called Monkey and Dragon, and it follows this couple and they go around killing people to fund their romantic travels. And the second one's about Unschool. It's a coming of age story. I really want to do coming of age stories. It's about a coming of age story based on the School Sucks podcast. I got the links in below. I don't know why I'm doing that. I got the links in the email address if you want to check out the show. Based on the podcast about a 13-year-old boy who actually drops out of high school and he learns the hard truths of the world. And another one that we want to do is the third one is Get to Know Me. And basically, it's about the up and coming trials and tribulations of an internet celebrity. Well, she's not an internet celebrity yet, but she's going to be. So basically, it's along the lines of that. So only three more shows actually write scripts for it. One is actually 11 minutes, so that's going to take really fast. These two are actually Unschooled and Get to Know Me are actually 30 minutes, so that's going to take a while. Also, I actually want to be able to spend this month like writing all the ads for the people we're going to hire. And speaking of getting everyone hired, I don't think I'll be able to do email as much as I can with 1,000 people on board. There's a huge difference between emailing 20 people at a time and emailing like probably around 2,000 people at a time. Because remember, we're not just like working on one show or three shows. We're actually working on 16 shows, and 9 of them are actually 30 minutes long per episode. So that's a lot of people to email. So one of the reasons I'm actually doing this, another reason I'm actually building a website using Squarespace and a vBulletin plugin. You probably seen it before if I met you in a forum. You probably seen it before. I do love how their forums are ran, and I do like the organization of it all. So basically, with that, I can put V Bulletin on there. It'll be like a private forum for everyone to meet up at. And one of the best things is that I get the message out easier. Now, the thing I'm trying to figure out is how do you actually organize a virtual building like Pixar organizes their building? Because basically, if you actually listen to Pixar, basically you got the cafeteria and the locker room, and the reason why it was done like this was so that people can actually meet up and bump into each other, and they come up with all these creative ideas. If I do it in the online world, it may become very, very confusing and frustrating at best. So that's actually a pondering question, but I'll approach that bridge when we get there. I'm more focused on what we got to do right now. And the fourth thing we have to do is actually write a list of all the great collaborators we want to actually collaborate with, get all the media publications you want to get with, and all the potential sponsors that we actually want to get with. Now, be honest, the sponsors are kind of like last priority because they don't come unless you have the audience. And the media publications, they're kind of like second to last priority because they don't come unless someone who's actually worthwhile. And so that's where you actually get all the great collaborators. So one thing we have to realize something is that we're kind of a bit of nobodies. We're like underdogs. Nobody really knows what we're up to, but we're kind of a bit of underdogs. And basically, yes, I will definitely play the guest star card. And it's not, because I actually had a little trouble with this. Like, is this selling out? Like, no, it's not really selling out if it doesn't destroy the story. It's more like enhancing the story if you have to find the right guest stars for the right show. So basically, right now, I'm actually more focused on getting right now who the guest stars are, and that way on August we can actually just go out like gangbusters and start contacting these people and building a relationship with them and contacting through email, Twitter, YouTube, and you probably name it throughout every single medium. So that's gonna be a fun. So August and September are gonna be very very busy months. But anyway, I actually want to end this with a goal, and my goal for this for E.Wil Entertainment right now is that I am going to actually write the entire spec script for Monkey and Dragon and finish Act 1 all the way to the very end by next week. So think about Unschool. I got the beginning part of the script on the hard drive of the computer, which still hasn't got fixed, but I can actually transfer the, the documents from that computer and put it over there and put it into the new computer. So basically what I can actually do is transfer that all the way to the new computer, so that way I'll actually be able to actually continue. Well, I already know where to continue definitely from memory, but I can actually be able to combine the two scripts together so it forms like a concrete story. But you're not really missing anything from the beginning part. The beginning part just like introduces all the characters and what's going on. So that's basically like just the beginning. So I just continue just where I left off, and I can just finish it from there. So when you guys get the attachment for the Unschool, just know that there's a beginning part of that script that's really, really missing. And part of it is key, but you probably got the main gist of what it's all about from there. So that's pretty much it. So this is me saying thanks for watching. I will do these videos very weekly, every Tuesday. So bye.